When you get divorced, you've got two choices with regards to the matrimonial finances. You can either settle things by agreement or you can fight. How most couples settle, and 80% of divorcing couples in England and Wales do reach an agreement without the necessity to turn to the courts. How they reach that agreement varies. Some simply walk away with nothing and let the other party have everything. Some split it down the middle without any bickering or arguing. Some give more to the one who they perceive needs more. Some give more out of guilt. Some give more out of pressure. Maybe they're bullied into it. However, for the ones who end up fighting in court, this outcome is never guaranteed. You may go to court thinking you've got the best case in the world, but the judge might disagree with you. I've been before judges who have a reputation for preferring the wife's argument, and I've been before judges who have a reputation for preferring the husband's argument. I've been before judges who always split the pensions 50-50, and I've been before judges who take into account the length of the marriage, the fact that the other party really should be made responsible for themselves going forward, not depend on their ex. So, yes, judges have a wide discretion. They can choose how they decide the matter is fair, and some of them do have a reputation for favouring one argument or another. But this reputation, this favouring, is based upon their understanding and their interpretation of the law. Case law in England carries legal precedent. So, if you go to court, you can't choose your judge. You can't go, oh, I'll have that one because he favours women. It's a lottery. And years ago, people used to try to select certain courts. Like there's a lot of divorce tourism where people want to go to the High Court in London because they're very favourable to women in high value matrimonial cases as opposed to countries abroad. However, all of this aside, what you have to remember is there is a limited amount of money. Yes, if you're very wealthy, you might have a high earning potential in the future, but most people have a set income, set time that they can work, and there is a limited amount of assets to be divided. So you can spend £100,000 each arguing on how that's going to be divided, or you can concede and let your ex have more than what you perceive is their fair share. And also, so many people lose proportionality. If you're arguing over a 2 million pension, then yes, it's worth spending £50,000 each on legal fees. But I've been involved in cases where people are arguing over £300,000, and they're spending a third of that at least on legal fees. So proportionality is important. However, a lot of cases that end up in court have at least one partner who is unreasonable, who doesn't care what the outcome is. They just want to fight. And you don't need to give them a label of narcissist. The label they need is one of vendetta, probably. They're not going to concede anything. They just want the fight. So if you are in the unfortunate position of being married to one of these, and I was, then you have to be prepared for a tough battle or give in at the first sign of trouble.